The NASCAR Xfinity Series race has officially concluded from Texas Motor Speedway, and we see a race with a lot of attrition, a lot of crashes, and Hunter Nemechek picking up another victory. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Xfinity Series race from Texas Motor Speedway, the Andy's Frozen Custer 300, where I had quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So, before the green flag drop in today's race, Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, Joe Graf Jr., and Brad Moffitt all have to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. So at the start of the race, he had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Trevor Bayne on the inside, and Justin Allgaier was able to clear for the race lead. It took to only turn 2 for the first incident to happen in this race when Sam Mayer, 6th position, who qualified pretty well, would hit the outside wall really hard, getting a ton of damage. And then a few corners later, Riley Hurts would hit the outside wall hard, bringing out the first caution in this race. Both cars had debris and damage on their car, and they unfortunately both fell out of the race because of the damage. And that would be a trend throughout the day. So then on the next restart, Justin Allgaier lead the field from the inside with Trevor Bayne on the outside, and Justin Allgaier got a fantastic restart, was able to clear for the lead, and Trevor Bayne fell back to 4th position. Then on lap 11, the second caution race to come out when Joe Graf Jr. would make contact with Patrick Emmerling. He got loose coming into turn number 4. Patrick Emmerling had nowhere to go, and then Patrick Emmerling spun, ended up clipping Lane Riggs, getting a ton of damage, bringing the caution out. This would unfortunately take Joe Graf Jr. out of the race. So then on the restart again, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the inside with Austin Noel on the outside, and Austin Noel did the best to try to get the lead, but Justin Allgaier eventually was able to clear for the lead. Then a few laps later, Daniel Hemrick hit the inside grass and basically get a ton of damage on the splitter of his car and would start fading back. As the run continued on, though, Justin Allgaier continued to dominate, and he would come off the corner and win stage number 1. Meanwhile, Sheldon Creed pulled a really awesome move to get back as the first car one lap down, and he would get the free pass because of that. So then, all the lap cars would then come down pit road, with Justin Allgaier winning the race off of pit road, and Daniel Hemrick also came back down pit road and had a long pit stop. So then on the restart, Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Cole Custer on the inside, and Justin Allgaier fell back a little bit on the outside, and Cole Custer actually got a great restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then a few laps later, we see one of the biggest incidents of the day take place when Brendan Poole got loose off of turn number 4 and got spun by Ryan Sieg, would go to the inside wall and hit the inside wall pit stalls very hard. I never liked to basically see wrecks like that. Thank God Brendan Poole was able to get out of his car. That was really scary and really dangerous. Thank God Brendan Poole was okay after that. Also during that time, Joey Gase also got spun through the grass. Basically just got spun out and got stopped and went multiple laps down. So then, on the restart, Cole Custer lead the field from the inside with Justin Allgaier on the outside, and Justin Allgaier got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. And then, a few laps later, a caution would come out again for Jeff Earnhardt at the outside wall really hard, got a ton of damage and bringing debris on the racetrack, bringing the caution out. So then on the next restart, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the inside with Cole Custer on the outside, and Justin Allgaier was able to clear for the race lead. Then Jeb Burns started getting on the radio and was complaining about a vibration in the car and would start losing a ton of positions and would nearly go a lap down. And basically, he would, I think, have a loose left rear wheel. But during that time, it wouldn't matter because Justin Allgaier would come out the final corner and win stage number 2. Meanwhile, we find out that Jeb Burns had a loose left rear wheel under caution, and they lost a left rear axle cap, going many laps down, and eventually would head to the garage with that damage. So then all the cars would then come down pit road with Justin Allgaier win the race off of pit road. Jeb Burns got held a few laps, and then Austin Noel got blocked on pit road as well and would drop from 3rd to 10th after Hunter Nemechek took a little longer than normal. Meanwhile, they would have to get a relief driver for Josh Williams as Seven Parsons had to get in, hoping Josh Williams is okay to get out of the car because he was complaining about basically the heat inside the car, which I don't blame him. It was like 100 degrees out of the racetrack. Thank God Josh was able to get out of that car, but Seven Parsons was able to get in and substitute. So then on the next restart, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Cole Custer on the inside as they went into turn number 3 with Justin Allgaier clearing. Trouble strike in turn number 3 when Trevor Bayne, who had been complaining about his car being very loose, he would go up the racetrack and Josh Berry had nowhere to go. They both would spin and collect Austin Hill and Kyle Weatherman. Meanwhile, Parker Kligerman had a very awesome save, threading the needle and not getting any damage in that. Unfortunately, though, like I said, Austin Hill and Kyle Weatherman were caught up in the wreck. To me, it's just a mistake by Trevor Bayne. Just got loose in the corner. Trevor had been, like I said, complaining about the car being too loose, and it cost Josh Berry a strong run. So then on the next restart, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside and Cole Custer on the inside. And Justin Allgaier got pushed way up the racetrack by Chandler Smith and would drop only back to around 15th or 16th position, lost a ton of ground, and Cole Custer got the race lead. Meanwhile, Parker Retzlaff, next lap, got in the outside wall. And then a few laps later, Jeff Earnhardt got in the outside wall really, really hard with a ton of damage, destroying the race car and brought the caution out because of that. So then, on the next restart at the time, I believe you had Cole Custer and Justin Allgaier restarting, I think maybe on the front row, I'm not entirely sure, or basically losing a ton of ground on that restart as well. And Allgaier got moved out of the groove. Then he had Parker Kligerman pick up some debris on the grill, but then the next lap, another caution would come out for Dawson Crabb, who spun from 18th position, bringing the caution out. So then during the time, Daniel Hemrick and Justin Allgaier came down pit road while the rest leaders stayed out. So then the next restart, Cole Custer lead the field from the outside with John Nemechek on the inside, and John Nemechek got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then the race continued on. He had Jeb Burns still on the racetrack, was able to get back down to the garage, and his day would unfortunately be done. Then with 45 to 46 laps to go, green flag pit stop started ensuing. First, Cole Custer came down. Then the next lap, you had John Hunter Nemechek, Chandler Smith, Brandon Jones, Jeremy Clements come in. Then the next lap, you had Parker Kligerman come in. But during the green flag pit stops, a caution would come out with 41 laps to go for Daniel Dye, who spun in turn number 2, was way up the groove for whatever reason, just spun out on his own, bringing the caution out. So then, you had only like 8 cars on the lead lap, that being Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Daniel Hemrick, J.J. Yeley, Kyle Sieg, Ryan Ellis, Anthony Alfredo would all come down pit road while everyone else stayed out to take the wave around. That included John Nemechek, Cole Custer, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, and Parker Kligerman. So then on the restart, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Daniel Hemrick on the inside, and Justin Allgaier, no surprise, was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, the guys on the fresher tires, they were starting to get through the field. John Nemechek and Cole Custer and Parker Kligerman all working together. Eventually, John Hunter got in about 5 or 6 laps, got up to second position. And we thought this was going to be a duel between John Hunter and Justin Allgaier. Well, with 21 laps to go, the next caution would come out for debris down the backstretch. And during that caution as well, Justin Allgaier stayed out along, I believe, Brandon Jones, somebody else, while the rest leaders came down pit road. John Nemechek also was a little bit confusion, maybe that he was going to get a penalty because he maybe thought he was going to be outside the pit box, but luckily that did not end up happening for him. So then with 17 laps to go, we got back racing with Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Austin Hill on the inside, and Justin Allgaier got a great restart. But on the final caution race come out on the restart when J.J. Yeley and Kaz Grala got together. Kaz Grala got in the back of J.J. Yeley. He spins out, collecting Kaz Grala, bringing the final caution out of this race. A mistake by Kaz Grala, unfortunately, but that's how treacherous Texas is. So then, on the final restart of this race, you had Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Austin Hill on the inside, and we saw Justin Allgaier get a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the lead. Meanwhile, John Hunter Nemechek basically got a bad restart and dropped a ton of positions back. Then, with 78 laps to go, we started seeing a battle between Parker Kligerman and Justin Allgaier for the race win. Kligerman got to the inside with 7 laps to go, but he got loose. Justin Allgaier drifted up the racetrack, lost a ton of positions. It became a side-by-side battle between John Hunter and Parker Kligerman, but we saw John Hunter Nemechek able to finally clear for the race lead. With 4 laps to go, Daniel Hemrick also had heavy damage on the right front of the car and basically would lose a ton of ground and would go out of the race, unfortunately. So then at this point, it was coming down to between could Parker Kligerman run down John Hunter Nemechek or was John Hunter going to hang on? Well, Parker Kligerman unfortunately had nothing for John Hunter. John Hunter was able to pull away by a second, and it would not be enough for him. And coming out the final corner, John Hunter Nemechek picks up his second career Xfinity Series victory at Texas Motor Speedway, his 7th win of the 2023 season, and continues a dominating year and advances to the round of 8 as well. While John Hunter did not have the dominant car of this race, though, congratulations to him on that. He did what he had to do. He executed properly. He was my pick coming in the weekend. He had started a little bit farther back, started in 11th position, but still able to get up to the front. Nonetheless, huge congratulations to John Hunter picking up win number 7. I'm telling you, this 20 team is really good right now, and I still think they're the championship favorite currently at the moment, picking up win number 7. So now we're going to take a look at the race results. I'll give you my score and thoughts on today's race. So John Hunter Nemechek picks up the victory. Parker Kligerman finished second. I'm telling you what, this team, if they don't make it to the round of 8, this still has been a great year for this team. And they have a chance to still make it to the round of 8. We're going to the Roval for crying out loud, where Parker Kligerman is really good at the Charlotte Rumble. And next year, he's going to be a championship contender. This 48 team the last few months has been really, really strong. They're getting into a groove the second half of this year, and Park Clearman thought was going to win today. He's come close to winning many, many times. Next year, they're going to win races and be a championship threat. Sammy Smith finishes third. A great run for Sammy Smith. It has not been a great second half of the year for this team, but a much-needed run. Ran top 5 and top 10 all day long. It gets a very solid top 5 finish. Great run for Sammy Smith in third place. Chandler Smith finishes fourth. Good run for Chandler Smith as well. He's been hit or miss second half of this year. Was really good in the beginning. Has fallen off second half, but today gets a very strong fourth place finish. Great run for him. Justin Allgaier finished fifth. Justin Allgaier was definitely the best car in the field. Unfortunately, they just may have had issues on that one restart that cost them a shot. Then they basically got out of the groove. They might have been able to hold on to win, but of course they were on older tires. They were basically down a set of tires, but they still get a solid top 5 finish. But man, tough ending to Justin Allgaier's what would have been a fantastic day for them, but they still finished in 5th place. Cole Custer finished 6th. He had a top 2, top 3 car most of the day. Never had a car capable of winning. They still get a very solid top 10 finish in 6th place. And I think they're really close to locking their way in. I think they're actually locked in the next round, as a matter of fact. Austin Hill finished 7th. What a comeback for this team. They got damage in that wreck, and they still recovered to finish in the top 10. That's perseverance and a great recovery for this number 21 team to finish in the top 10. Good run in 7th place. 8th place for Sheldon Crease. Solid run for this 2 team, considering they were terrible in the beginning of this race at one point a lap down, but a solid recovery for the 2 team to finish in 8th place. Brandon Jones finishes 9th. This team has been faster the second half of the year. They were top 10 in the majority of this race. In fact, at times, they're 4th to 5th place car. They never had a car capable of winning, but I'm telling you what, the 19's been getting better and better as years progress, and they're starting to show it with better finishes. I definitely think next year they're going to be better. He finishes 9th. Solid run for him. And Brad Moffitt finished 10th. We'll be talking about AM Racing later this week, but a solid run for Brad Moffitt, who generally a lot of this race did run inside the top 10. So a solid day for Brad Moffitt in 10th place. Ryan Sieg finished 11th, did have that controversy with Brendan Poole, but does still recover to finish a solid top 15. Good run for him in 11th. Kyle Sieg had a very solid top 15 finish. Good for him to finish in 12th. Ryan Ellis gets a very solid top 15 finish in 13th place. Anthony Alfredo finished 14th. It wasn't the top 10 near the end of the race. Was on older tires. That cost him a shot at a great finish. And Kyle Weatherman finished top 15. Qualified very well, has some damage, and still recovered to finish in the top 15. Weatherman's a really good driver, and I stand by that he deserves a full-time entry in a pretty good car next year. Parker Chase finished 16th. Qualified horrendously, but recovered to finish in the top 20. That's all you can say about that. Daniel Dye, despite spinning out, does get a solid top 20 finish in his debut. He ran top 20 a majority of the day with Alpha Prime Racing. I wasn't sure how well he was going to do considering he struggled in the Truck Series, but the finish top 20 of Alpha Prime Racing is not that bad. Jeremy Clemens finished 18th, unfortunately, one lap down. Lane Riggs, despite the fact that he got involved in a couple incidents this weekend, he still finished his top 20 in his debut. He survived a lot of the carnage. He was able to continue racing. And you know what? A top 20-year debut is not bad, all things considered. He's going to run a few more races with this team as well. I believe he's going to run Las Vegas or Homestead in a few weeks and Martinsville as well. So great to see Lane Riggs get a top 20. And Stephen Parsons, Josh Williams be credited with a top 20 finish, though Stephen Parsons did finish the race. Dawson Grant finished 21st. Decent run for the CHK Racing team. They actually had some decent pace throughout the day. He finished 21st. David Starr finished 22nd. Sage Karen finished 23rd. Qualified pretty decent in this race and finished top 25. Going to be good for the team when it comes to owner's points. Daniel Hammer finished 24th, just a disastrous day overall for this 10 team. They actually were running top 15 near the end of the race, but then they had that wall damage and that tire that went down that cost them shot a great finish. He finished 24th. CJ McLaughlin finished 25th. Joey Gase finished 26th. Josh Burr, after having major crash damage, finished 27th. He's in a must-win situation going into the Roval. JG Ellie finished 28th after crashing out. He was running top 10 a lot of the day, or top 20 most of the day. Unfortunately, that crash cost him a shot at a good run. Kaz Grawl finished 29th. Parker Reslap finished 30th. Jeb Burton finished 31st after his issues. Jeffrey Earnhardt finished 32nd. Trevor Bayne finished 33rd after crashing out. Brendan Poole finished 34th. Patrick Emmerling finished 35th. Joe Graff Jr. finished 36th. Riley Hertz finished 37th. And finishing last in 38th place is Sam Mayer. So now, let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give you my score and thoughts on today's race. This is one of the most frustrating races I've seen this year. You could not pass. The track was too condensed. It's an ice skating rink if you get above the single groove at the bottom of the racetrack. Too many cautions, in my opinion, and not a lot of green flag racing, and it was really, really frustrating. I will say the ending of that race, the last 10 laps, was definitely better than what else we had, but it doesn't justify for the rest of it. my score of today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race is going to be a 3 out of 10. It was very frustrating to watch. There wasn't really anything salvageable this race, in my opinion. I've been pretty adamant about my opinions of Texas over the years. I do not like this track. This track never provides any good racing at all, and it's an embarrassment to NASCAR in general that we go to Texas Motor Speedway still. They need to change the track. There's obviously rumors that Texas Motor Speedway might be having some configuration changes. Trust me, they're going to need it because this race was really, really tough to watch for me. I was getting frustrated. You can't run side by side here because if you go side by side, you're potentially going to wreck. It was very frustrating to watch, and I did not enjoy today's race. So, that is our today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from Texas Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Link description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Hunter Nemechek on picking up the victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we have the NASCAR Cup Series race review from Texas Motor Speedway. God, I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow. Then on Monday, there will be a NASCAR news video dropping on the channel, of course, and along with more than likely the Truck Series race picks for Talladega as well. Then on Tuesday, I might have a 2024 updated schedule predictions. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of content dropping the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.